You're here, I'm pleased, I really feel your company. Your style, your smile, your pace mentality. Lord, have mercy on me. I was blind, now I can see what a king's supposed to be.
Excuse me, miss. I was in the waiting room when you gave your testimony. And what I realized is that we have an enemy in common. While you were being called to the office again, I was being put out the only home I've ever known. While you were shaking with anxiety and fear over something no one ever wants to hear, I was shaking in dread. Because we all know what happens to little girls that have no home and no one to claim them. I think our souls passed each other by. See, my soul left me a long time ago in a dingy motel room, ripped away by brutal force. It fled, unable to find its way back home.
Historical people, who would you want in your seat and why?
Wow. I guess because I'm different. You know, I'm not really starstruck. And so it would be hard to really pinpoint anybody in particular. First person that just came to my mind, you know, I mean, if I had an opportunity to cut Denzel, you know, I would.
That's a good one.
I'd do that.
That would be a dope conversation.
Exactly.
How important is diversity in your work, considering you grew up in a bilingual, bicultural home?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's very important. I think at this point, just in society, there's just so much diversity. You know, whether it be in language, whether it be in your upbringing, whether it be, you know, in whatever that is. And so I think growing up in, you know, a bilingual household as well as really a bicultural, despite the fact that, you know, my parents are you know, both of Hispanic descent, but growing up in two different cultures of, you know, very traditional values in the home and very different, and sometimes similar values, right, outside of the home, but in different ways, right?
Yeah.
And so,
He tests those whom he loves. I pray he continues to love me till my death. I pray he continues testing me and testing me and testing me until I have no questions left. Until I can ingest knowledge and choke on lies and spit out truth with every breath. But you see, until love for what he loves and hate for what he hates is the only thing that's left within my chest. I know that I will constantly fight to love what's right because I was created with a heart that sits slightly to the left. But I'm okay with that. Because I always knew and always know that he knows exactly what is best. You see, he knew that it would only be a matter of time before I would open my eyes and finally realize that I needed to look deep down inside and pull out the divide so that my heart and my mind would collide and learn to work together.
Good afternoon, all you special people. We're here today, this Wednesday, at Forest Hill Library. This is Ordinary Conversation for Extraordinary People. And I'm your host again, your guest host, filling in for Mr. Willie Strickland. Today we have with us, we're going to open up like I normally do with a prayer. I need to, oh, y'all don't understand, but it's all right. I just want to, for all of you guests out there, so we'll be able to extend to you some of the things that we know are just ordained and sanctioned by my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. We want to say, God, we want to thank you, and we want to allowing us another day's journey. We want you to just bless us in our attempt to get the message out there and to make people smile today, because we have this comedian here, and we just want you to bless our journey as we go along the way, so we can give extraordinary conversation to those people who are sitting waiting. And in Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Y'all, come on. Today we're running a little late, but it's all right. It's all right. We have with us today Mr. Kerry Gibson, also known as Komedian KG. He's a Dallas native. He's fun, talented, outgoing personality. He was featured as a credited extra on the 2018 film Never Going Back, an American comedy drama. Okay. We'll get into the conversation and find out a little more about comedian Kerry Gibson. Thank y'all for receiving him. Welcome, Kerry Gibson. All right, Mr. Gibson.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for inviting me here.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. I think our audience would be excited hearing your story.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Comedy.
Yes, ma'am.
What made you decide that you wanted to pursue a career in comedy?
It's kind of a long journey. I've been doing comedy now for going on my 12th year.
Okay.
Yeah. I originally had the passion of wanting to do stand-up comedy. From the moment I was about maybe 7 or 8, I used to watch it on TV, and it kind of inspired me how I see comedians. They can create laughter and make people happy.
Okay.
I wanted to do that. I wanted to change the narrative of the depression and anxiety that people have to relieve some of that energy and stress with laughter. And that's kind of what I do with my comedy. I kind of played along the lines of both styles of comedy, so I can cater to both audiences. That's young and old.
Well, that's good.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, did people see this in you? Were you one of those ones? Because I recently went back into the teaching area, and I see some kids who are very, very active and try to make other kids laugh.
Yes, ma'am.
It's not always funny to the teacher. Were you one of those ones that they had to say, okay, stifle, maybe he'll be a comedian, you don't want to stifle your creativity, but sometimes we have to tone it down. Were you one of those ones in the classroom that they
I kind of was, but I was kind of sneaky too. Like, I like to make you laugh and clown around, but I like to be sneaky with it so I don't get all the way in trouble, and that's kind of how I was in school growing up. I like to make the kids laugh, and I like to kind of have a lot of friends. I like to have friends and be kind of the center of attention. Most people wouldn't admit to that, but I enjoy making people laugh and just having a camaraderie, friends and fellowship around me, and that's kind of what I was in school. So it wasn't until going into college is when I kind of had to make some decisions. I went to college and graduated with a double major degree. Because my mom and my grandma, they was pushing it really hard.
They stressed college.
Yeah. So I went ahead and completed that and made them proud. And then I jumped into comedy after that. So that's
Then you
something that,
pursued your own
yes,
passion. So
yes, ma'am.
that's real good,
Yes,
And
ma'am.
I hear a lot of people, and I think one of the comedians on television, he was a physician, and he had
Ah,
that passion. And
yeah,
you
yes.
probably know him. I can't call his name, so I won't even attempt. But that's wonderful. That's
Yes,
right.
ma'am.
You got them all satisfied. And what did they? I mean, what were their reactions when you decide, Mom, I'm not gonna pursue this professional career. I'm gonna not in this area.
Right.
I'm gonna be a
Well,
comedian.
after college, it was kind of, I'm finding my way. I was a teacher
Okay.
at Dallas Canyon Academy, and while I was kind of finding work in my field of work in which I graduated in, um, I began kind of dabbling into comedy then, and then I became a physical therapist, and
Oh
I
wow.
did that for a couple of years. And while I was doing that, I was doing comedy too. But
Okay.
these was like the beginning stages of my comedy.
You
So
make your patients laugh, huh?
yeah, yeah. And in my
It's
opinion,
something.
I really wasn't um, conscious mind
Okay.
of comedy, so to speak. So I kind of had to grow into it, and it was kind of difficult to kind of separate my professionalism and then
Okay. I
come
know.
back
I
and
can
yeah,
imagine.
and then come back and clown around with my people. So I kind of had to find a balance, but once I did, I kind of loved it and I enjoyed it.
Okay. Now, were you ever nervous? You say you like attention of friends and
Right,
all that,
right.
but now when okay, your stage comedy, you just doing jokes with friends and sort of testing the waters.
Well, during college, I was highly interested in it, and I used to do like little videos of funny,
Okay.
like they do now. You
Yeah,
know,
that's good.
this is kind of like before the social media video thing really kind of excelled. Now, me and some of my fraternity brothers in college, we were kind of doing like little funny videos and sketches and things
Okay.
like that, and it kind of helped build a character in me so that I can kind of do comedy on stage because I never thought about it at the time, but once I graduated and I fulfilled those dreams for my grandparents and my mom, then
Being
I was able
yes.
to go into that.
Oh, that's good.
Yes,
That's
ma'am.
good. Now, getting your feet wet, as far as going on stage, that's different than just those little comedic videos
Right,
that y'all
right.
were performing.
Exactly.
Okay, so when you went out there, were there any jokes that, I mean, okay, you got to get the feel of your
You got to get the
audience,
feel
don't
of
you?
the audience. Yes, indeed.
Have you ever sort of failed at
Yes,
getting the audience attention, or have you ever had
yes.
any problematic time
Yes,
trying to get
ma'am.
the jokes around
Uh,
out?
I mean, I have failed many times, and with every failure, it's a learning process, and it makes me stronger as a person and as a comedian. Originally, when I really decided to get serious about comedy, I got under a mentor, Dean Lewis,
Okay.
and he became my mentor in comedy and showed me the ropes on how to write jokes and how to structure jokes together and kind of like knowing my audience and my stage presence and things like that. Like everything that has to do with stand-up comedy in the whole. Mr. Dean Lewis, he taught me all of that. And once he taught me that, I then just took the information that he gave me and then I just ran with it. I applied that information and I benefited from it by
So
making people laugh.
oh, that's good. So I know it wasn't an easy step, even finding Mr. Dean Lewis. So what exactly is he? Is he an agent or
Well, he's a fellow comedian
okay,
himself.
okay,
My
I'm
frat
sorry.
brother Quentin Washington.
Hmm.
He also is a comedian, and he kind of like referred me to him.
Okay.
And once he referred me to him, I went and I checked him out. We had a conversation, talked about kind of some of my goals and where I wanted to go in forms of comedy. And he was able to help me with that. And I was a lot nervous. I was very nervous during that time because he actually like pushed me to get in front of an audience and tell jokes on stage rather than me trying to be that little shy kid hiding in the back of the classroom telling jokes. So once he did that, it kind of like allowed me to spread my wings in stand-up comedy. And from that point on, I've been loving it and doing it ever since.
That is great. I always thought in my mind I wanted to be a comedian. I sort of bombed out and told some jokes, and everybody looked at me, and I didn't know how to wiggle out of that. So when you go and you try to get the feel of your audience, do you get that feel just looking at the racial makeup of your audience, or what the zone, the area of town that they live in,
Right.
or so how do you go and study what kind of audience
Right.
test the type of jokes that you're gonna
Well, sometimes you look at the demographic of the room, kind of look at the setup and how it all orchestrates. I typically tend to peek my head out the green room and see what kind of audience we're working with. And then from that point, I'm always around. I'm speaking to all the audience members as they coming in. Hey, how you doing? How's your day? And just getting the feel of every individual person. Sometimes I can't get around to everyone, but I try to do it so I can kind of get that feel of relaxation, because once I start speaking to someone, then I'm more relaxed. Like, oh, this is a friendly person now. I'm more relaxed. So that kind of actually helped me actually feel out my audience. I know one time I didn't quite judge the audience well. I went into a church. I went into a
church folk could be a little tricky.
And very, very, very straightforward and hard on you.
Oh yeah.
They don't shy away from letting you know that you're not in the right area right now.
Okay.
But I went into a comedy show, not knowing that there was a pastor, a deacon, a first lady. The whole congregation was there. And I didn't fill out the audience that well. I just looked at the audience, was like, hey, these my people. We're going to be good.
Come on out with
we're good. And as soon as I opened my mouth, I heard a lady in the back say, oh my God, my pastor's back here. So I was like, oh no, sorry, pastor. And it was like, it was kind of like a surreal moment for me, because it kind of like brought me back to reality. Like, hey, it's still, exactly. Everybody's different, and kind of helped me kind of study and learn my audience a little better from that point on. But that had me like so embarrassed, and I was just like, oh my God.
So how are you able to make that quick adjustment? I guess it takes experience, because what the type of jokes that you tell, are they a little raunchy sometimes?
Sometimes if I don't feel the audience out right, and you just you look at the audience, and sometimes your brain might see a lot of your people in there, and you assume, and sometimes it's not the case. You got people that are from different backgrounds and religious backgrounds as well, and so you just kind of gotta be ready for that. But in that particular moment, the only thing that you can kind of really do is kind of like bring notice to the obvious.
Okay.
Which letting them know that, hey, my apologies, and you just kind of joke on the topic of it all. Yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't know the deacon was in here,
But sometimes you let them know, hey, these are the kind of jokes I tell, and if you come to my show,
exactly.
This is what you're gonna hear.
Exactly.
What you see is what you're gonna get.
Exactly. So,
okay, well,
but yeah, that was an experience for me, and it only made me stronger. It made me kind of more intact with knowing my audience.
Yeah, so that's good to even greet and meet and get the feel of someone. So you're able to have material already prepared mentally.
Yes.
So you can pivot.
Yes.
That quickly. That's wonderful.
Yes, ma'am.
That's wonderful. So how do you go about finding? I guess everything could be a moment that you could create humor in.
Yes.
Okay, but do you have anyone helping you to write some of your jokes or your script?
Well, typically I have an assistant, and then I have my brothers and sisters.
Oh yeah, they always family. They're gonna be honest with you.
They're gonna be hard on you. Yeah, they're gonna definitely be hard on you. Let you know. But for the most part, I'm at home alone, and I'm just writing jokes, and I see something on TV or
Oh
I see
yeah,
something on
yeah,
social
that's
media.
good.
Social media is jam packed with tons of information
Oh,
and
it
tons of
is. That
stuff that
is.
can
That
become a
is. That
joke.
is true.
And I just stay active and vigilant with writing. The more jokes you have, the more possibilities you have of not having those moments to where, you just looking at the audience and they looking at you like, what's next? Come on, we want the next joke. Like, come on, bring it. Because that's how they are. We want the next one. Come on, bring it, bring it. We want more jokes. So,
Oh wow.
yeah, you just got to keep the jokes coming and just keep the laughter coming and keep everybody pleased and happy.
Okay, well that's wonderful. So how do you otherwise prepare? I mean, other than I know you say you get with
Right.
family and all that, and you get in your little sedentary. I mean, your little
Yeah, my
moment.
little zone. Yeah,
Your
yeah,
little zone,
yeah.
and you. Is there anything that inspires you more? Uh, you say social media. I
Yeah,
know
yeah,
that's a
for
good
sure.
outlet, but anything that in your life now that you think inspires you to do a certain kind of uh, comedic performance?
Well, um, well, the true inspiration, comes from God.
Oh,
That's
all
that's
right.
the true inspiration. Yes, and yes, ma'am.
That's
So
right. That's right. Keep that
yeah. So once
always
you once
forefront.
you put God first, and no matter what situation, what scenario, no matter what problem, it don't matter. If you put God first, God will guide you in the direction that you need to go because
That's
he
right.
he's there for you.
Okay.
And he don't want to see his children fail. So if you put God first, and he'll lead you, and you'll be in good hands. So with my comedy, I always pray before my show. I pray before I get
That's
on
good.
stage.
That's wonderful.
I pray when I'm trying to write material
That's
because
good.
you want God to give you that inspiration and that creativity. So I pray and God just bring those things to me. It might not happen right then. I might have to sit a little longer and whatnot, but ultimately the right joke will come,
Okay.
and then
Okay.
you'll be able to use it on stage and usually how it is in the writing portion of it. Once you write a joke, you want to go and do like an open mic and try it out on someone or
Okay.
whatnot. And so I try to tend to do that, but with my schedule being so busy, when I write it, I just pray about it, and then when I do it on stage, sometimes it works.
All right.
So
Oh yeah. That's right. That's right.
yes,
And the
indeed.
things that don't work out weren't meant to be.
What meant to be, exactly.
So
Or you
those
might just
things.
need to go and just elaborate on it, or you missing some details out of it or something. But joke writing is really detailed, so you got to kind of be patient with it.
Okay. And to remember all that. Every time I think about you, I have to remember all
Oh
that.
man,
Oh yeah, I can imagine getting up there. Have you ever had that moment where you told the wrong punchline? Have you ever?
yes,
And how
man.
do you pivot back to, hey, let me
Oof,
remember?
that's a tough one. That's a tough one. Yeah, I have been in that situation where I mixed up a punchline with a joke, and I just stop immediately. Just stop.
Reverse,
Yeah, yeah.
reverse.
Stop, breathe, and count to three because man, oh man, that can go downhill fast too. So I just try to stop and catch that joke before it gets too far, and then reset, and then just start with a whole new
And
joke,
just come up with,
and,
okay,
and hopefully the crowd forgets.
okay,
Because
okay.
once you move on to the next joke, and then you make them laugh with that next joke,
Then
then
they
they'll
just
forget
forgot.
about all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Have you
So
ever had to, in the middle of it, change the punchline because you messed up
yes,
and you had to
ma'am.
come up and did it resonate with people? Did they receive it? Did they think it was funny?
Yes, ma'am.
So you
Sometimes,
just,
because the audience really don't know what's in your head, and they
yeah.
don't know what to expect. They don't know what's coming. So usually, when your joke is set up, and then you're ready for the punchline, it's more like a surprise factor. So they're gonna be surprised on no matter what you say. So yeah, I did have to do that one time, and it actually worked out really well because I like improv comedy
Okay.
anyway. So yeah, I like to write jokes, but my natural form of comedy comes with just me being internally funny with my audience and connecting with my audience on a more relatable topic.
Okay, that's good. So, what about criticism? How do you deal with criticism? Because I know being a comedian, you're gonna have some
Yeah.
critics and you're gonna have some people just little bots out there just
Well,
saying
yeah,
just,
the world is a critic,
yeah, that's true. That's
My
true.
mom is a critic, so
Okay.
yeah, but she's my biggest fan.
Yeah,
She's
she
never
that's
had,
honest
yeah, yeah,
criticism. The other one just,
Yeah, she never have any negative criticism toward me. But any other criticism, I accept it because that's just an opportunity for me to work on myself.
Yeah.
I'll accept it. I'll pray about it and find out what God thinks about it.
Yeah. Okay,
And
that's
then
right. And let's keep moving.
yes, ma'am.
It doesn't
Exactly.
stop you. I
Exactly.
heard one of the guests, I mean one of the hosts on The View,
Hmm.
saying that you have to have a tough skin
You
because
do, yes.
because sometimes you have hecklers.
Oh man,
And
yeah.
have you ever experienced that?
Yes, man. I really don't I really don't like dealing with hecklers only because I wanna make everybody be I want everybody to have a great time.
Okay.
I don't want no one to not enjoy it, and I don't want it to be a person to not allow anyone else to enjoy it. So sometimes when there's a heckler, I can be really aggressive on them, and then sometimes when there's a heckler, I can kind of ignore it and just
Okay.
get past it. But it just depends on how much the heckler wants to be noticed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Because they can
some
get
won't
real.
stop. Yeah.
Yes, they don't. Yeah, some won't. Yeah.
Yeah. They relentless.
Yes.
Because they want you to.
And it can be annoying and irritating, and then sometimes you can be aggressive and just like throw jokes at them, and then sometimes you can ignore it and then it'll stop. But either situation, is a great way to handle a heckler, anyways.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. And they say you were featured in Texas Flippin' Move. So can you tell us something about that? A show featured on DIY Network.
Yes, man. That was a show they had a couple years back, kind of like at the beginning of my comedy career. When I started comedy, well, I'm doing it now too as we speak. I was taking on acting roles as well, and some of those little extras and things like that would kind of get me um, like out of my shyness,
Okay.
so that I can get on stage and do comedy. Because while I'm doing comedy, I'm still a little shy.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to break out of my shell and all of this and that. So when I'm doing acting and I'm doing all of these roles, they're giving me different lines to say and things like that. And it's allowing me to kind of like open up and find myself on that platform. So then when I take that same knowledge that I learned over to comedy, I'll be more confident and relaxed when I'm doing it.
Okay, that's good.
But that show happened about 2015 to about 2017. I did multiple projects with them. It's a house, a DIY show on the DIY network, like where they'll take a home, they'll buy a home, and then they'll fix it up, how they do it, and then they'll sell it to a buyer, but they auction it off instead. So they'll buy the home, fix it up, and then they'll auction it off to the buyers. And in the show, it's all, acting and whatnot. So the buyers on the show are really not buying the house right then. They have us to come in
The
and
comedian?
yes, and pretend that we're gonna buy houses and that we're doing all of this real estate stuff, and it's just like
Does the audience do?
no one knows. No one knows what's going on or none of that. It's just they have us coming in acting like we buying houses and we over here bidding for houses and looking like we really into it. And it's kind of hilarious.
So we had another guest that said reality is not really reality.
It's not at all. It is not at all.
I'm not disappointed anymore.
It is not at all.
I know the reality.
Yeah,
of it.
those
Okay.
houses belong to those people.
Oh, wow.
We didn't never buy them. Yeah, I might be on there
Wow.
buying it and bidding,
Oh,
but
wow.
we never bought those houses.
Oh, okay. And they set you up in
Right.
comedy. But anyway, that was giving you experience and
Yes, ma'am.
exposure. And I'm noticing that you were with Wild and Out, appeared on tour with two of the cast members from
From
Nick
Wild-
Cannon. Wild and Out.
Yes,
Oh, that should have
ma'am.
been fun because we all familiar. Well, most of us, I'm quite sure the listening audience is familiar with
Yes,
Wild and
ma'am.
Out.
Yes, man. That happened a couple years back in 2018. I linked up with two of the members from Wild and Out. That's JJ Williams, Lil JJ, yeah, and then JJ Lewis. Sorry, JJ Lewis, Lil JJ, and Moat Williams.
Wow.
So I linked up with them during the show at Hyenas. Then we came really close, and I began doing tour dates with them, and it was really fun. And then I had moved on to other projects after that. But while we was performing. We went to Atlanta. We did some Dallas shows, and we became really good friends. So to this day, I can call them up, I can hit them up, and we can have a conversation. If I want advice, they can give me some advice or whatnot. But just building a relationship with different guys on the road and different other comedians, that's the networking that you want to build.
Yeah, it is.
That way, so just like if you scratch my back, I scratch your back type of situation. And like it might be a comedian all the way over in New York or somewhere like that, and you're in Texas. So when y'all meet up or when y'all swap out work, their audience will be allowed to see you perform, and your audience will be allowed to see them perform. So it's kind of like swapping audiences as well, and it's a benefit in the comedy world. It's a great benefit in the comedy world, and most of us do it to this day. But you do have those other ones that I want all the attention to myself. It's me. So
that means everybody feels in that situation.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
But those guys are great, down to earth people. Lil JJ from Arkansas, Mo Williams from Atlanta. So just meeting two guys from two different worlds. Is a pleasure.
Okay, that's wonderful. And they say, I'm reading. They say you appeared in a Shout Out DFW magazine in 2022, and you were nominated Best Social Media Comedian by Stand Up Roundup Comedy Festival. That should have been an honor.
Yes, man. It really was. It really was. I was shocked to even know that I was even voted for, nominated.
Wow.
And that was really great. And just like being mentioned in different magazines, like I was in the Shout Out DFW, the Voyage Dallas, and the Voyage LA magazine. Just a couple of other ones. I don't have my resume on hand right now. But just being able to be represented by some of these companies and magazines and being published in their magazine allow me to feel great and feel like I'm actually I'm progressing in what I'm doing because I did comedy for a long time at one point to where I felt like I was still in the learning portion, but I didn't rush it. I was still patient and I still continued to learn and grow. And from that growth, allow all these other opportunities like being in the magazine and being on tour with the guys from Wild and Out and being in different movies and things like that. So that always is a blessing. And I just thank God every day that all these doors are just opening for me because people ask me all the time, KG, how are you getting booked with all of these shows and how are you getting booked with being in the magazine and all these movie roles and things like that. And I really don't have any other thing that I can say besides, God. God is my agent. God is my manager. God is my father. He's everything. So anything that I ask for and I sincerely pursue with my whole heart and I ask God for it, God always seems to make it true.
So it's just your networking, your connecting with other people, so you didn't have to have an agent, someone booking. That's great. You cut out the middleman.
I know, right? Yeah.
Wonderful.
So that's just been a pleasure, and I just thank God for Him blessing me and opening those doors for me.
I know. I look at my phone so people don't know because I know there are questions that are being asked by viewers, and I'm gonna ask some of those as soon as I get them. But that's real impressive, and it's good that you've taken the chance and taken that first step. And is there any kind of comedic performance or any that you concentrate particularly on, like any type genre of comedy that you choose over another kind? You like the clean cut version, the church version, or you like just the regular? I'm talking to natural people.
Well, I think at this point I'm more adaptable to my audience.
Okay, all right. Okay, well that's good.
But I do tend to lean more so to like the clean comedy side.
Okay.
Only because of all the other opportunities that clean comedy can offer. Like different TV roles and TV network.
No,
yeah, exactly. and a lot of judgmental church folk. That's for sure. But yeah, I think I'm more adaptable at this point to any style of comedy. I can do comedy for kids. I can do comedy for adults and younger adults, older adults. So I just tend to try to continue to be adaptable. That way, I keep my doors open and be able to spread my wings to wherever way I want to go.
Okay, well that's good. Are you inspiring some more family members to pursue a career in that same area?
Yes. Well, yeah. I didn't. Well, I'm not trying. I didn't intentionally want to, but my nephew, he's not really inspiring to be a comedian, but he's inspiring to
He's
be a
funny
rapper.
now, huh?
He want to be a rapper now.
Oh, he
So
wants to be a rapper.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So
So
and
they're all in the entertainment of some
entertainment
sort
of
or
some
another.
sort.
Okay.
And
Okay.
then my other nephew, he's a boxer. So
Oh, okay.
yeah. So they're all into
That's a whole
entertainment.
nother arena of his own,
Yeah, just a
which can
whole.
be funny or not so funny.
Depends on who's doing the beating. Depends on who's doing the beating.
Yeah, that's right. I
Because if
mean,
you get beat up, it ain't too funny.
but you can make a joke out of it. You
Yeah.
can make a joke.
Oh man.
Is
So,
it so that I know when you're around family people, do they always expect you to be funny,
right,
even in your time that you just want to
right,
sort of separate yourself
right,
and come into your own feelings?
right.
Do they always expect comedy out of you?
I mean, I'm assuming they do because that I'm
Or do
assuming.
you always feel you need to be funny because they expect it?
Well, I I assume that they expect me to be funny in some regards, but I that's family. Like I'm like I see you all the time. Like
So
you,
how do they know when you get serious? Is there a side of you that, hey, okay, this serious now, no joking?
man, my family don't take me serious. They wouldn't take me serious at all. I could be in a burning building talking about hip, 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 and they'll still be laughing.
They'll think it's a joke. They'll think you
He
got a
just
joke.
joking. I know it's crazy. It is crazy.
Okay, but that's good. That's what you need. Okay, now let's see some of the questions that are being asked, and I don't think I have them up. Okay, and so we're expecting you because I mean I don't want to catch you impromptu. This is sort of going to be impromptu. Any jokes that you might have, so our receiving audience can get a little feel of some things that you are putting out there. I mean, you don't have to do it now. I give you time to think about some jokes. I want to just totally. So I don't want you to go home. Okay.
Yeah, because I'm working on some new stuff right now, and I'm trying to keep it kind of keep it a secret until I put it on stage. But I have done some old jokes before here, so I'm sure y'all already heard them. But like, yeah, just give me a
But
little.
the audience hadn't heard them. But yeah, your new jokes keep them because we
Right.
have thousands of viewers and they don't. Well, that's my imagination. That's my joke too. Okay, what about are you affected by? Are you affected by other comedians? What do you feel about comedians stealing your jokes? I shouldn't say stealing or copying your style. And do you see that?
Well, I don't know if they stole my jokes because I don't really watch other comedians.
Okay, well, that's good.
I try to study comedians and not watch comedians.
Okay.
Like you can study their stage presence, their mannerisms, their setups, and stuff like that. But I don't watch comedians because when you watch them, you can tend to pick up some of their traits and habits and things like that.
Want to be
And I want to be original. Yeah,
That's
I want to
good.
stay original and keep my originality intact. So I don't really watch other comedians. If I'm in a comedy club, I might watch them live because that's different than watching them on TV. On TV, you want to be polished, you want to be perfect, you want to be, on cue with everything. So on TV, there'll be a different. On TV, there'll be a different comedian than they are live.
Okay.
So I tend to try to see a live comedian. That way, I can kind of understand their style of comedy and then study them. You know, a lot of comedians that I grew up watching, Red Fox and
Oh yeah.
Richard Pryor, um,
So
Dave
you go
Chappelle,
back through the
even.
reel and listen to
Yeah,
Richard Pryor
yeah, and I
because he
go
was
and understand, you know, how he made this audience laugh and
yeah.
what makes him a funny
Okay.
comedian and
Okay.
things like that. So, and it
Okay.
kind of helps me in the long run.
Okay. Well, that's good. So you're not affected. I mean, do you take any of their material? Is
No,
that legal in
what?
the
No, no,
comedy?
no. You cannot. You
You cannot.
cannot.
Y'all remember this?
Yeah, you cannot take any comedian's material, and I don't recommend it
I
at
heard
all.
Cat Williams
Yeah,
say it.
yeah, Cat Williams. Yeah, yeah,
I heard him say that
yeah,
about some of the other
yeah.
ones.
He did. Yeah, he
But
said it on.
and you present it differently. So
Yeah,
you that's a no
yeah. That's
in
still.
this industry.
Yeah, that's still a big, you
Okay.
know. Yeah. The biggest thing that you can do is take from another comedian. Another comedian's writing is his art. You know, so it's like Picasso painting a painting.
Oh
It's
yeah,
like his
that's
art.
true.
So when we write
That's
a
right.
joke, it's like art. So we expect, you know, it not be stolen or copied.
Oh, okay. Okay, I have a question from one of our viewers. These questions are not coming up so quickly. That's why I don't. What was your experience like working with the library last year? Can you elaborate? It must be something to that.
Oh man, no, working with the library was it was a great experience. It was something that I have not experienced. It was a new experience for me, and it was kind of tough because I didn't know what to expect. You know, I didn't know what level of comedy, you
Oh yeah.
know, to provide.
Okay.
Even though I talked to everyone and I got different opinions, I met my audience and things like that. But overall, I had fun. Like the staff and the people at the library, they were really welcoming. They
Okay,
were
that's
really
good.
nice, generous, and kind, and they were very open. And I feel that we had a great night that night.
Okay.
And I believe you even did comedy.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
and
Well,
we
now
enjoyed
I
it.
think I might have been. They said I was a heckler. I thought I was doing my comedy. I thought I was helping the comedian.
No, yeah, no, you did great, and we had it was just a good fellowship of an opportunity that we had, and I would like to do it again and make it better because I feel like I could have been better. Not anything that the
Okay.
library could have done. Y'all were perfect, but I could have been
Yeah.
better. So that's why, you know, I would want to do another one if that would be possible. But
Oh
I really
yeah.
enjoyed it,
They can make that happen
and
real
and
soon. I'm quite sure.
and I think that the next go around, I think we're gonna make it even bigger and better because that's kind of how I approach all of my shows. I want them to be the biggest and the best experience that we all can enjoy. We all can leave and we can be talking about, oh, you remember he did this joke about whatever. You remember he brought this other comedian in here and did this and
Oh,
blah, blah,
that's
blah.
good.
So I just wanted it to be a great opportunity. I'm not saying the last one wasn't great. It was a great opportunity, a great experience. I had a lot of family and friends here, and we just all had a great time. It was food, and it was just remarkable. So I think that if I get an opportunity to ever do another one, I think that I'm going to go even bigger.
Okay.
So
Okay. Y'all hear that
I really
library?
enjoyed it.
Y'all hear that library? Keep thinking of your jokes. You gonna let the audience. You gonna work with the audience with. That's real good. And right now, so what are you doing now? What are your plans right now? Yes. What are
Well,
you
right
doing?
now I have a lot of plans. I'm creating new jokes right now. I'm trying to do a special coming up by the end of this year or following 2026. Right now I'm on tour again. I'm heading to Louisiana this weekend. Then next week I'm going back. I'm going to Baton Rouge this weekend. Next weekend I'm going to Lake Charles, and then I'll be back. Then I'll be heading to Abilene,
Okay.
um, Austin.
And you set all these up yourself, and
Yes,
you.
ma'am.
That's
Yes,
wonderful.
ma'am.
That's a lot.
Yeah, so like I was saying
So
before,
you.
God is my agent. He's
Yeah.
opening
All
these
right. Look at
doors
you.
up
Look at you. That's
and
good.
opening these
Awesome.
opportunities up for me, and I'm just accepting these
And
opportunities with the grace of God, you know, and
And you write them down in your little book, or you use Alexa, what day?
I know, right? Alexa, tell me my next.
Yeah, that's right. Tell me the next day. So that's good. That's
Yes,
good. You
ma'am.
always prepared. You travel alone or you
Yeah,
travel with the
well,
group?
I do everything alone, and I tend to travel either with
Good.
my assistant or
Okay.
a comedy friend. I
Okay.
have a comedy friend come and feature with me or something like that, and just get on stage and work with me. But typically, I'm doing everything alone and trying to like learn as I go or learn as I grow.
Okay, that's good.
And
That's
then
good.
that way, if anyone else comes under me or want to know advice or need some kind of assistance, I'll be able to have that advice to provide for them
That's
because I've been
wonderful.
through it.
That's wonderful.
Yes, ma'am.
That's good. So we're gonna are you mentally prepared? Have you gotten some of those jokes? Just
Well,
a
I mean,
little taste.
I know I can. Well, right now I'm big on my family. You know, I've been talking a lot about my family. I have a really really big family on both sides of the spectrum.
Oh,
So like my family is super super big, and you know
okay.
with all of those big families, you know, especially those black families, you know, like when we start like running out of names, we start recycling the old ones, you know,
Okay.
because I'm a junior, you know, I'm a junior.
Okay.
Yeah, and on my daddy's side of the family, we on our fifth little Ricky now. You know,
Oh, okay.
you, you gotta say little big Ricky, little Ricky Jr., you know, Sergeant Little Ricky, you know.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we recycling our names, you know. So yeah, I just been talking big about my family, you know, and it's hard for me in my dating pool, you know, because I'm single now, and me living in DFW, you know, it's hard to find a woman, you know. You gotta do a background check, you know, on everybody, you know, just to make sure they ain't family. That's how big my family
Oh,
is,
wow.
you know. So gotta background check everybody, do a thorough background check and make sure that we ain't family before I date you. But
Okay.
my family is huge, so I talk a lot about my family. You know, I try to stay in the lines along the lines of my family because you know my family inspired me with all of my jokes. You know, even my mom. I just added her on Facebook. You know, she be treating me like I'm 5 years old. I'm like, Mom, I'm in my 30s now. You can't be commenting on everything, putting emojis all on my page.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, Mom, I'm a grown man. I kill everybody on Facebook mess with me. No, I'm playing. I ain't gonna kill nobody. I'm just, I can't kill nobody, man. I'm too nice. I be smiling too much.
Oh, yeah, you.
Walk up
I
to him like,
mean,
bang, bang.
no, yeah, oh, no.
That ain't gonna
Too
work,
good.
man. That ain't gonna work. But I enjoy my family. My family inspired me a lot, man. I just stay focused and I just, you know, give everything to God. And once you put everything, like I said, once you put everything in God's hands, you don't have to worry about nothing.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. So when you are on stage and there is a line of other professionals coming out, that's a mind thing that you have to go behind somebody who's
Yes.
just nailed it.
Oh my
And you
God.
say, wow, so how do you mentally get yourself together and compose
That's a good
and go
question. That's a good one. That's a real good one right there. Cause that's a good one. Yeah. Cause yeah, that's good. That is so good, man. Because we got a lot of great talent in Dallas, DFW. So DFW is like growing with talent, like super talent. So like seeing another comedian go up there and like crush, like I mean absolutely crush, like that has to inspire you.
Yeah.
If it don't inspire you, you know, then
Sneak out the back door.
sneak out the back. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Because like I used to get real nervous, like when I was like 1 or 2 years into comedy, and I see a comedian and they crush and they smash, and I'll get up and I'm like, oh my God, I'm so scared.
Oh, wow.
I'm so scared. But if you have confidence in your own material and you have confidence in what you wrote and what you rehearsed and everything that you practice on and you got confidence in that, once you get up on stage, you don't have nothing to worry about. You know, everything will be perfectly fine. It's been many a times that, you know, comedians had to come up after me. You know?
Okay,
You know?
okay.
So,
I bet you they would.
so it's the tables can turn, you know, real quick, you know, depending on how confident you are in your own material. Like I said, if you prepared and you're ready and you practice and you was already rehearsed your material, then following another comedian shouldn't do anything but inspire you. You know, seeing another comedian do great is all plus. You know, it's all a plus. I know I'm a team player, so I love to see other comedians do good.
Okay. Good.
I don't never hate or never say, oh, I want them to do bad or none of that. None of that. So whenever I see a comedian do good, I'm high fiving them, I'm dapping them up, congratulating them, and then I'm ready to follow up. You know, so you just got to be ready and confident in your material, and know that. You know, that's the game. That's the comedy game.
Right,
you got to be ready. You got to be ready to follow a comedian. And then sometimes a comedian can go up there and absolutely bomb, you know. And trash, and you can go up there and you'll have an easy time.
I know.
Yeah, it'll just be a cakewalk. And then sometimes that comedian can bomb, the next comedian can bomb, and it just could be the room, you know. It could be the room.
So when you up there bombing, you know that, hey, I'm not getting the response.
You switch it up. You gotta switch it up. You gotta adapt to your audience. You gotta adapt. You gotta adapt. Yeah, because you if you sit there and you just and you recognize the audience is not feeling you, then that means you're not aware of your own stage presence. And if you're not aware of your own stage presence, then that means you have a little more learning to do in comedy. And most comedians, when they notice a situation like that and it's going downhill, they'll be able to adjust and readjust until they can find that middle ground to get the audience back on their level.
During your preparation, do you include that in there? Hey, this joke might not go so well, so I have to pivot. When you're preparing, where are you preparing? Do you prepare in front of a mirror, or do you prepare in front of some of your family critics? Or
well, I'm always doing some form of joking around throughout the whole day. But when I'm actually preparing to actually step foot on stage, you know, I'm a first and foremost make sure my material is set and right. I got everything lined up and what I want to talk about. And then once I have that, I don't deviate from that plan unless the audience is not feeling it, you know, because if I deviate from the plan, then I had already prayed about this, you know. So if I prayed about this, then I can't deviate from the plan. God is in control at that point. So I just stick to the plan. And from that point, as far as my last 8 years, in my 12 years, I have been no bombing and
that's good.
And no bad audiences. So that's a plus. Exactly. That's exactly. I just stick to the plan, and as long as you pray, like I said, as long as you pray before your performance and after, you'll be in good hands.
And even if you, I know this might be the same kind of redundant question. What if you decide that it's your turn next, you know, to go on there, and someone that stole some similar jokes that you had already planned on, telling you pivot and you got your backup plan mentally? Because you don't have script, do you?
No scripts at all. No script. The script is in your, no teleprompter, no script. The script is in your head. Yeah. So that can go two ways. You know, if another comedian is doing some of the similar material as you, following that comedian, it can go two ways. One way is that you can you can readjust and adapt and use other jokes. Because if you're a comedian, then that means you have more jokes. You know, you shouldn't be limited to the amount of material that you have, so to speak. Wow. And so you should be able to readjust and adapt and add different jokes, or even call an audible as they do in football. You know, and switch it up. And then another way is that you can actually piggyback on that comedian's material. With your own material. Hey, you know, just like
that is
such
good.
And such said, blah 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 blah, and you do your material. You know, just like, you know, my man said before me about the women. You know, women are like that, blah blah blah. So you can kind of like piggyback on that comedian's material and actually give him more credit. You know, such and such was up here talking about women or whatever. Man, he had a good idea with that, you know.
That's good.
So You can take it two ways, you know, and then and in fact, you're not stealing that comedian's material. You're just piggybacking, agreeing with him, and then you're doing your own personal material. So
That's
you
good.
can go two ways with that.
That's good. That's how
Great
you have to
question. That's a great
come,
question. Yeah, that's a
come
great
up with
question too.
these
Yeah,
smart techniques
I
to
know,
do
right?
things. That's real good. That's
Yeah,
real good.
and you got to kind of study comedy to learn most of this. And it don't come by you just sitting around writing jokes. It come by you being immersing into comedy clubs and talking to older comedians.
Okay.
I done a show with Lil Duval. I done
Okay.
shows with Rodney Perry. All of these older comedians will give you this type of advice. So once you get the advice, you just use it to your own benefit, and you hang on to it and you learn from it. And if anyone else come along the way, you can pass that information on.
Okay, that's good. And they say you've been in had roles in drama, stage plays, commercials. You've been on commercials in Dallas.
Yeah,
Look at you, look at
yeah,
you. Reality television. Oh, you told us about the reality
I
television.
know
That
that's
is
not
not really
reality.
reality. You
Yeah,
heard that twice now.
I did that commercial, that advanced auto parts commercial. I don't know if it's showing in the southern part of Texas, southern part of America, but I seen it on the East Coast.
Okay.
Yeah, so I guess when you do a commercial in the South, they're gonna present it on the East Coast, I guess.
Okay. All right.
So it's kind of weird, but yeah, I did a commercial. I did stage plays. I really like the stage plays because you can be more improv,
Okay.
and you can be more
That's true. That's
loose.
what I
And
hear.
even though you're going over a script and
Yeah.
you're writing a script, I mean, you're going over a script and you're reading the script,
Yeah.
you can be more improv with your character and your lines,
Yeah.
and you don't have to be like so into a box, you
And you're
know.
relating to the audience.
And you're more relating to the audience.
That's
It's
good.
real. The audience is
That's
there,
good.
you know,
That's
rather than just
good.
being on camera.
That's good. Well, how's the industry as a whole treating you particularly, or because sometimes you can run into discrimination. Sometimes you can run into a little setback. I know you being a man, I hear this from women,
Hmm.
and especially women of color, that the industry has these double standards.
Yeah.
So you have not, or have you
Yes, ma'am.
experienced anything, racially or anything that might be a setback, or you can share with some of the people who might aspire to be?
Yeah, I know I had a lot of setbacks in my upcoming 12 years of comedy. Originally, when I started comedy, it was very difficult for me as a black person to get into any comedy club.
Wow.
Any comedy club. So it's just that I had to keep working, and then once I became funny, they were noticing, but they still wasn't giving me chances or opportunities. And then my mentor spoke of a comedy club, Backdoor Comedy Club.
Okay.
Backdoor Comedy Club is a privately owned comedy club in Richardson, Texas.
Okay.
And it's a clean comedy club, by the way.
Okay.
You only do clean comedy
All right,
there.
church
Yeah,
folks, y'all
yeah.
can go.
Only do clean comedy. So once I built a relationship and I started going to the comedy club, I met the owner of the comedy club, Linda Stogner,
Okay.
and she gave me so much opportunity and so much love into that club, man, and that like I just love her for that. Man, she the
Okay.
only club that gave me an opportunity when no one else did.
Okay.
And she allowed me to kind of home in on my skills, build my stage presence, and just get better in comedy. And once she felt the need that I was ready, she she spoke my name to other comedy clubs,
Okay.
and
That's
then
how it works.
and they
Okay.
opened doors for me.
That's wonderful.
It's so wonderful, and I can't
That
thank her
is.
enough. Like I cannot thank her enough because the amount of no's I was getting, the amount of neglect, I guess you want to call it, lack of opportunity. It was just so unreal, and I didn't know what was the reason behind it or none of that, but I just kept continuing to grow in comedy and getting better in comedy, and once I got better, it was undeniable.
So what do you think it was, based on your lack of experience, or other things that might underline things that might have not allowed you an opportunity, or not see you as one of those people who could have been a prominent?
Well, I really, really, really want to be honest and say it was experience. But when I'm looking at other comedians that started the same year before me, or after me, or the same year as me, and I'm not being judgmental, but I know my abilities and I know my work. So when I look at other comedians and we started the same, and that comedian is still on a certain level, and I'm not on a certain level,
Okay.
then I can look realistically and judge and say, hey, this is not a lack of experience. This is a lack of you being a different,
opportunity. Yeah,
you being a different,
in some ways.
yeah.
Yeah.
So when I noticed that, then I just didn't even bother about it. I just continued to go and do shows in other cities, other states like Louisiana, Arkansas, Oklahoma, like the surrounding cities, because in some aspects, I don't think the people in your city will kind of respect you in something that you're jumping off,
That's true.
taking a leap of faith in. If
That's
not,
true. That's true.
So
Same thing biblical. They knew him not. His own people knew him not. So sometimes your own people in your
exactly,
area cannot give you the respect for what you
exactly,
aspire to be,
exactly.
and you get it from somewhere else.
And I went to.
So you were calling around, or somebody referred you to places, or they connected you?
Well, it was at that point, after the fact. It was just a mere opportunity of. It was just mere knowledge of opportunity and meeting and networking with people.
Okay.
Like you can network with another comedian, and another comedian can say, "Hey, man, you're really funny. Come over here and do this." And then you do the same.
So that's how you made it. That seemed hard. I mean, that seemed like it's an opportunity, and that really is from God.
Yeah, and it's difficult to kind of meet people because everybody's is in their own little lanes, and they're pursuing their own little life goals. So it's hard to kind of meet people and build a relationship or bond with people strong enough for them to give you an opportunity.
Yeah.
Like like me being in comedy and bouncing out because I took a leap of faith in 2014 and did my own little tour and went out with my own money and did comedy and meet people and things like that. So it's just about the.
You had dates or venues set up, or you?
Yeah, I had venues set up, and then I had like very limited amount of people that I could call and say, "Hey, man, do you know if I can go and do a show over here, or can I at least do an open mic over here, or something?"
Okay.
So it's like just knowing somebody that can talk to somebody that can talk to somebody. Yeah.
Right.
And that kind of allowed more doors to open. That way I don't have to rely on my home comedy clubs in DFW to kind of give me opportunities, which have not been great for me.
Did you call Tyler Perry?
I'm thinking about it. I'm really thinking about it.
You go pursue it.
Tyler Perry, they did mean to
that's
me.
right.
Tyler Perry,
that's right.
They did mean to me.
Yeah, I played in that acting. Okay. Well, that's wonderful. So someone asked, "Hey, can you give us this is Komedian with K, y'all." So that was original in itself. Give us your tour schedule again, your tour dates again.
Yeah, I guess. Let me look on my. Yeah, because I'm booking more shows too. Like I said, I'm an independent artist right now, and so I have Fort Worth today. I'll be in Baton Rouge, Louisiana on June the 14th, and then I'll be out there for the whole weekend. Then I'll come back, and then I'll have to come back, and I'll come back home, readjust and rest, and then I'll have to go back to Lake Charles, Louisiana for a Juneteenth comedy show, which is a Juneteenth weekend, June 19th through the 21st or something like that.
Good.
And then
I remember that, dude.
And then I'll be in Big Springs, Texas.
Okay.
I'm not sure what side of Texas that's on, if it's the east or the west.
Okay.
But I'll be in Big Springs, Texas. I'll be headlining.
It matters.
Right. I'll be headlining out there on July 26th.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll be headlining out there July 26th, and then I'll come back to DFW, and I'll be performing at my home club, which is Backdoor Comedy Club, for the whole weekend.
Okay.
So that'll be an opportunity if anybody in the DFW area to want to catch me before I go back out of town on the road.
Okay.
To catch me at Backdoor Comedy Club, and that will be July 20. Oh shoot, hold on. I'm sorry, guys.
No, I'm just.
I know, right? That'll be August the 1st. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And July the 18th. So I skipped July 18th and went to 26th. But July 18th, I'll be back in DFW at Backdoor, and then the 26th, I'll go to Big Springs, Texas, and then I'll come back and perform at Backdoor again.
Okay. Yeah. That's good. You have all this extra energy.
I know, right?
So, I'm not getting personal. I'm just.
I'm sorry. I got Fort Worth. I'm sorry. Fort Worth, Texas is next Wednesday at Big Laugh Comedy Club in Fort Worth, Texas, off of Commerce Street. Yeah, I just got that one today.
Okay, good.
That's why I didn't have it on my schedule, so I just got it today.
You're gonna pick up a lot of them from this podcast.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So, is it finances? Does the finance come in enough that you can afford to do this on your own, or you have to have your own backup cash flow?
Well, at one point, money was looking really good. Financials were looking really good. But like being an independent artist and like being an artist in general, you have those up and downs. Because sometimes, some months you cannot get as many bookings as the next month. Okay. Like 1 month I can get 10 bookings, the next month I can get 20 bookings. So your money is not going to be, always consistently the same. So at one point, finances were looking great, but I'm always a person that have multiple outlets of income.
All right. So backup plans, y'all heard?
Yeah. So I don't want to just lean on one. I don't want to lean on just one finance, because I know that comedy is a thing that I'm personally pursuing. Right. I'm not.
That's true.
I'm not trying to get income from it, so to speak. It's like a personal fulfillment that I get. Like I love and enjoy comedy, so I don't expect, or I don't want to say I don't require money, because money is a part of it. Yeah. But the bigger aspect of it all is for me to do something that I actually love to do.
That's good.
So in that portion, the money, it can come or it cannot come, but I'm gonna make money over here.
That's good.
But when I do make money, that is a plus, and that makes me feel like I'm doing something good. And I'm getting better at it.
But you're not dependent.
I'm not dependent on it.
There are some artists who are.
Yes, ma'am.
And I've heard stories like they're sleeping in their cars.
Exactly.
And, they're doing it. You don't have to do it.
And I've been through it.
And that's a blessing.
I've been through it.
Sleep in your car?
I mean, I haven't had to sleep in my car, but I have been through the struggle of trying to depend on comedy.
Okay.
Because at one point I gave up my job so that I can travel more.
That's
because I can't have a 9-to-5 job and be all throughout America.
You have to be wise,
exactly.
Comedian. In any career.
Yes.
And you wisely made decisions about your finances and knew.
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, if this doesn't work, hey, I still got a little pocket change. I can go.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And God.
And I always got family too.
Yep. And God for sure.
And God.
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, anything that I ever asked God for, with a sincere heart, God always gave it to me. Like always. And it's not nothing that, give me a car, Lord. No, it's not nothing materialistic. It's something that's going to help me excel to the next level.
That's right.
And God's always there. So.
And he'll give you that car you ask for.
He will. He will. Yeah, he will. Yes, he will. But
I know what you mean.
Yeah. I'm not a materialistic, but he definitely will. He give you what you need, not what you want.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. So, is there any advice that you would give to someone who might be interested? I mean, as to how to start this. I'm talking about the advice, because there's, like I said, there are some little kids who think that that's what they want to be. There's some people of age of maturity that seriously want to pursue a career in this. Is there any advice you would give them if you had yours together, you got everything you needed to do. You went ahead and went to college, like you said, you were satisfied in the parent, but you got that, and you have something to fall back
Yeah.
on. Some kids might go and think, "Hey, this is all it is
Yeah.
comedy," and don't have those necessary resources to fall back on.
Yes,
So,
man.
what advice would you give someone who's just want to be a comedian?
I mean, I don't want to say I completely had it all together because I went through a lot of struggle and hardships in comedy, and it was very difficult for me. But like the learning experience that I have gained from it, I can say that the advice will be just to keep writing jokes and just keep writing and just keep writing, trying to get better in your comedy. And I would say you got to put God first too. You know, like I'm gonna keep going back to that because
Yeah.
I don't know how anybody can survive without even putting God first. Like that's the main goal. First and foremost, you got to put God first. And I know it may be people from different backgrounds and different religions that may not see this as advice, but God is real. You know, God is for
He's
real.
real. He's
Yeah,
real.
yeah.
That's right.
And once you put God first, then I would say keep writing, keep practicing on your comedy, and just keep talking to people, keep networking, keep talking to people, and keep growing. You know, because once you stop that, then you're gonna be in the standstill. Once you stop growing, once you stop talking to people, once you stop networking, once you stop writing, once you stop doing what's necessary to for that art or for whatever your situation is, not even for comedy. But
Okay.
even if you want to be a pastor or if you want to be a basketball player, whatever, if you stop practicing, if you stop thinking about basketball, then you're gonna get to a standstill position. So I would say just keep writing and keep thinking about it and keep it going. Like long live comedy, I guess.
And
Keep
keep your,
comedy
and if
alive.
you don't have a backup plan, I know you might not have all had it together, but keep your day job.
Definitely keep your day job, and
All right, you
yeah,
up and coming comedian, keep your day job.
and get multiple income. Like find multiple sources of income. Like once you find out comedy is what you want to do, then create multiple sources of income. Sell merchandise. I sell merchandise. I sell live Zooms and stuff. So I would say
Oh,
just um, keep. Once you find out that's what you want to do, gather and create other incomes from that. If you want to be a comedian, you want to be a basketball player, whatever, you can create other incomes from that. If you, um, like I said, a basketball player, you can sell jerseys or shoes or whatever, socks or headbands. If you're a comedian, you can sell merchandise like T-shirts and
okay, that's
wristbands,
good.
like little wristbands. So you just create a second income or multiple incomes. That way, you have something to balance you out.
Yeah, yeah.
Because you might can do a show for like let's just throw a number out 500, and then you got to pay for your hotel and your travel and
Oh
stuff
yeah,
like
you
that.
do.
So I would say just balance out your
And
finances.
anyone traveling with you, you pay for them, or you tell them, hey, you on your own.
Yeah, it depends. Like if you invite them, then you gotta kind of be responsible.
Okay, wow,
Yeah, so
that can get costly.
yeah, it can get costly. Yeah, so I would just say continue to just have multiple income and continue to work on your craft and put your whole heart in it and never stop.
Okay, that someone want to know how can they reach you for booking?
Oh yeah. So that's a good one. Yeah. So I'm on all social media outlets. I'm on Google. I'm Googleable. If that's a word, I'm Googleable.
We're creative.
Yeah,
We're making
yeah,
a
yeah.
word.
I'm Googleable. So you just type in. You gotta
I like
type
that
in
word too.
the. Gotta type in the correct spelling. It's comedian with a K, and I did it to be unique and different. Not just because I'm trying to do all this extra, but I did it to be unique and different. I spelled comedian with a K because I pledged Kappa Alpha Psi, and that's just something that they made us do when we was pledging is spelling
My
stuff with
nephew would
K's
love you.
and whatnot. It's just a little small, little childish little thing that I stuck with, and I just used it to create a brand. So I'm Googleable. It's Komedian KG. That's Komedian KG. And you can also use that same spelling to find me on all social media outlets. That's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat. It's all the same. I try to make my branding be the same across the whole entire board on Facebook and all of that. So yeah, follow me, man, and I'll follow you back. And I'm always open into inviting people out, giving them free opportunities to some shows. I understand that people go through financial hardships, and I've been through that situation before. And I know that people might need that opportunity to go out and relieve some stress and some anxiety. So if you need me to reach out to you, or if you need a helping hand to come into a show, I'll comp your tickets, and you can come in and relieve some stress, and we can have a good time with laughter. So I'm all open with that, but I do require support and love, because I'll supply the same. So I appreciate y'all for following me and always looking out for me, and just continue to come to my shows. I appreciate y'all, all of my followers on Facebook. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I appreciate everybody at the library.
All right.
Y'all treat me like family, so I love y'all.
I heard you. We're family now.
I know we are.
Y'all give it up again for a comedian with a K. Comedian
KG. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I am family. Yeah.
Y'all give it up. Now, next week, that ends it for today's interview. And next week, we're going to have someone who's very prominent. Well, I wouldn't say prominent. Someone who has been, he's a musician. In other words, he's a great person. I think you're going to enjoy him. He's had all kind of professional career in education, and this is Willie Moffrey, and some of you in this town might know him. Others, I think you're going to be excited to get to know his journey, and he might give us a little synopsis of something he does with the electric guitar for those who are interested. So y'all, let's give it up again for our comedian KG with a KG. Thank you. Thank you
so much.
Thank you very much.